Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Empowering Morning Conversations. Now, our morning conversations are designed for a certain purpose, and let me introduce to all the newcomers to what the purpose is. Now, and my apologies to all the old participants because they know this very well, and they must be wondering why does he have to say this all the time? For the simple reason that there are people, new people watching us on YouTube all the time. And some new people might wonder, what is this all about? So Empowering Morning Conversations was started so that, we can help each other to overcome the negativity which we are bombarded with, all right? And make sure that all of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. That's what we want in our life, isn't it? So every one of you wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary people who are watching us this morning, or who are participating us this morning, know that you deserve to be loved and respected for who you are, right? And the person whose love and respect you need and want the most is probably you yourself, all right? And for that to happen, I'm going to ask Vetrivel to explain to you some of the key things that we do here. I'm putting it on the screen. So will you go ahead and do that? And Nitiji, you can let people in.
Great. Yes. Good morning, all the wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary, and beautiful people. We are here in the business of changing our mode into creation mode, because we all can create things and we can come out from our default survival mode. And unfortunate thing is, one more unfortunate is pandemic. We are being surrounded by all these negativities. Over talks, the first word seems to be negative. We are working here to come out from that circumstance. And knowingly or unknowingly, we complain a lot of stuff. That keeps us in a normal default mode. EMC is helping us to change that mode and become the possibility seeker. Trust me, touch out, it is happening to so many people who are regularly attending in EMC. We are not only becoming the possibility seeker, we are creating possibilities. And obviously, our main work is on increasing our focus and increasing our energy and putting it to always on a creation mode. That's what we do. And one more word I would like to add, sir, which I happened to see yesterday in the expo. It says in one particular place, here are the dreamers who do. I just added that quote into our EMC. We are dreaming our future and also we do. Over to you, sir.
So we are the dreamers who do. Right? We are the dreamers who stop complaining and start doing. We are the dreamers who stop complaining and start living. All right? And there is so much, yesterday, I've been in this, I'm training this group of corporate middle level managers from this very big Indian MNC here in Udaipur. And we were talking about this. And yesterday, when we talked to them, every one of them, their entire energy and focus is only on doing what they have to do in their everyday, corporate routine. All right. And the main thing which I always stress on, and I think I've told you also, is that the problem is not in what we know. Yeah. So we know a hell of a lot. And unfortunately, we don't even use 10 to 20% of what we already know. So what is it, that stops us from using what we know? What stops us from using what we know is that we are going through life in a kind of daze. We are just going from one habitual action to another habitual action. All right? In which we don't get much time for thinking. Yeah, so there is a way of living, which is called, I am just doing what I'm automatically doing, or I am living my life intentionally and deliberately. So which one do you think we are doing most of the time in the default mode? You are either living your life intentionally and deliberately, or you are living your life in the automatic, habitual, reactive and resisting mode. So what do you think we are doing most of the time?
Auto mode, sir.
Right. Now, a last couple of days that I have been asking you to focus on intentional actions. So what was it I asked you to do yesterday? Do you remember? Who remembers what I'd asked you to do yesterday?
Where our attention goes, we have to be watchful and mindful.
Right. So where your attention is going automatically, and how do you bring it to where it should go? So what was the discovery that you made yesterday when you were doing that? Let's have a quick share from a couple of people who might have noticed what was actually going on. See, one thing which many people might say, sir, my attention was taken away by all the chores that I'm supposed to do during the day, that I completely forgot that I'm supposed to do this exercise, that I'm supposed to be watchful and aware. So what is it that you did? Yes, Neeti.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. So yes, the daily chores, the responsibilities would take away our attention into a slight default mode. But the moment we realize that we need to, or at least I realized that I need to focus my energies of where I want it to be. I realized whatever was going on in my mind was just a cloud that I had created, and it immediately vanished. And I felt my expansive self again. So that felt wonderful.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very
you.
much for sharing that. So I'd love to hear from the others as well. What happened when you became aware of where your attention was going, and when you brought it back to where it is supposed to be? Where is it supposed to be anyway? If you're living your life in a create mode, where is your attention supposed to be? Where would you like it to be?
In the present.
Okay, very good. And where else? Come on, everybody can participate in this conversation.
Focus on the action to take forward. Sir.
Right. Oh, good morning, Kunen. When did you come in? I didn't see you. Yeah, you naturally focus on what you need to do or how you need to be to take yourself forward in the direction that you want to go. Very nice. Thank you very much. So is everybody clear on that? So how much of that intentionality was present yesterday? How much of that purposefulness was present yesterday? See, high energy and high focus people are purposeful. Now, there is a way to be rigid and purposeful, like, you're concerned, oh, I'm purposeful. Or there is a way of being relaxed and being purposeful. But either way, you're being purposeful. So what did you notice yesterday? So where is your awareness right now, as I'm asking you this question? The person who's listening to me is a possibility seeker, or the person who's listening to me is in the default mode right now? Like, what is going on with you that is not allowing you to participate in this conversation?
No, we are all possibility speakers, sir. That's why we are here.
Yeah, at this moment, when I asked that question, there was a response from only one or two people, right?
One of the reason, sir, that the thought is, since I have not or I could not do what sir has asked me to do yesterday, what should I share? And there's nothing to share. So maybe this thought must be there.
Yeah, okay, that is a good guess. Even I was thinking that, but not necessarily so. They might have done it without realizing it.
Yeah.
If you run your awareness on the day that went by, how many actions were purposeful and how many were happening automatically? Did you at least notice that?
Yeah, for me, it's a bit challenging, sir. It always goes into a default mode. And I have to put extra efforts to bring the attention back in present moment and towards the purpose. It takes
Okay,
time.
that's about you. So let's listen to others also. Thanks, Kunen, for sharing that.
For me, 25% It's purposeful. 75% is in my regular habitual mode, sir.
Right. Let's listen to a few others. Thank you, Reddy Garu. Yeah, Shakti. Good morning.
Morning, everyone. For me also, it's like a 50% I'm able to focus it up because I was planned something, then I keep my attention and I finished that one. But after some time, it's like when I'm not comfortable, I'm not able to get the complete picture of that what I'm doing. Then automatically I'm going to the default mode. I don't want to do that. I put it in the procrastination mode. I move to another task.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Yes, Milanji, Gautam. Gautam, go on.
Major time I'm purposeful, but I mean 60%, 60-40.
Okay, so let me ask everybody one more question. So everybody is going to share something on similar lines. Question to ask yourself is, if you have to acknowledge something, see right now you are acknowledging what you did, correct? 4 or 5 people have acknowledged what they did, right? So if you want to acknowledge something that you want to acknowledge, what would you like to acknowledge? Every time you succeeded or every time you did not succeed? See, people who are not speaking are not able to acknowledge what they did. If you acknowledge what you did, you'll do more of what you did. Now, if I have to acknowledge something, if I have to put my attention on something, I will put my attention more on what I accomplished, what I did, all right? Rather than first looking at what I didn't do. Which one is going to empower me?
What I did.
Accomplishments.
Yeah, I will look at what I did and say, okay, what else can I do tomorrow? So there'll be a lot of things that I did and there'll be a lot of things I didn't do. First, I must appreciate and acknowledge myself for what I accomplished or what I did. Once I do that, that gives me the power. And I say, all right, if I accomplish this today, I will accomplish this plus this tomorrow, or this plus this in the next hour. So now when I'm conducting a training program, after every end of every session, we acknowledge what we did. I acknowledge what I did to myself so that it tells me, okay, I did this much. And what else is possible now? What more can I do? Do you think that's a useful way to operate?
Very useful, sir.
Right. So yesterday, how many times you guys came across a situation where this thought came or somebody said to you, this is not possible? Is my question clear? How many times during your day yesterday, you had a thought about something that this is not possible, or somebody told you, yes, sir, this is not possible?
Yeah, it happens with me, Kamal here.
Right.
So yesterday, one of my manager asked me for one report that he wants at the end of the day. And I said, no, the data is more, no, I can't do it. But then later on, because my phone is a kind of distraction to me, so I just put it in cupboard. And next two hours, I was totally into the data, into that report. And by the evening, I just completed it. So initially, the first default thought was, okay, no, I'll do it in the weekend. But by the end of the day, it was almost complete.
Right. So the first response was what?
No, I can't do it because the data is more.
And did you say it to that person also?
Yes. No, I'll do it in weekend. Do you want it today? It's better if you can, give me today by today EOD.
Okay. Now, what could be another response you could have made? You actually did it, but I would say, what would the response be to that person?
No,
so I'll give you a response you can give. Whenever the thought comes in your mind, like somebody say, hey, do this today. Instead of saying, no, it's not possible. How about saying, let me see how to make it possible?
Yeah. So the second was that only that, okay, I'll try to finish today, but if it is not, then I'll give it on Monday. But yes,
but
somehow.
Instead of using those words, Kamal, what would happen if you said, all right, let me find out how to make it possible?
Okay.
Or you can say, I will find out how to make it possible. Will that empower you more than I will try?
Yes.
The problem with trying is that somewhere you are thinking it's not going to happen, but I'll try anyway. See, it empowers the person who's listening to you also. Let me find out how to make it possible. And a lot of times people are going to tell you something which really looks impossible, all right? You say, all right, let me find out. Or you can, instead of using let me find out, you'll say, let us find out how to make it possible. I might need your help also. Are you getting it?
Yes, yes.
When somebody is making a real unreasonable and impossible demand on you, and your mind says, what the hell is he talking about? You can always say, all right, let's find out how to make it possible. Let us find out how to make it possible. And my dear, maybe I'll need a little help from you also. So he'll say, what help? Arey Baba, you'll have to talk to so-and-so because I have to get some data from that so-and-so. And I'm not sure whether he'll give it to me on time or not. So can you talk to him? You know, then you're creating possibilities in his minds also. Right? Then instead of like he kind of giving something to you, it can become a little collaborative. That let's help each other to find a possibility. Okay?
I'll keep in mind. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so this for everybody, because every time your own mind says not possible, you can always say, all right, let me find out how to make it possible.
Possible, yeah.
Let me find out how to make it possible. And what else is possible? The mind also has a crazy thing, you know, it'll say, I've done everything that was possible. What more? So this is a very interesting thing, you know, this internal dialogue that we carry out without even realizing it, that's going to empower you or it's going to disempower you, don't you think? How many of you are actually aware of your internal dialogue? You know, with awareness, you also become aware of what your mind is saying, isn't it? So let's hear it from a few people. Are you aware of your internal dialogue? Especially when there are situations which you don't like.
Yes, sir. We are conscious about it.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Me too.
Yeah. So, and what do you notice when you become conscious about it?
I just laugh.
Because our it will say that whether it is it will go to judgment, right or wrong. But if you are conscious, will go to a fixed point of view instead of saying right or wrong.
Okay, so that's one thing which you noticed.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Somebody else was also speaking. Every one of you start thinking when there is a difficult or a crisis situation, right? What is the internal conversation that's going on? Most of it will be your default conversation.
Yeah. So I would like to share, thanks to EMC, now the counter intention is coming. Like when I find something is terribly wrong going on in my mind, the next thought comes is, what is that I'm missing here? The right perspective. Or else I just give credit to the person whom I'm talking wrongly. That person is good, only this perception is wrong. I'm able to replace that, but it is happening like Reddigar mentioned on a 25% mode, and let anybody start.
Yeah, and we've got to be very specific about what we are saying here. You know? The words which you say to yourself are very important.
True, sir.
Okay, somebody else. What happens to you when you're in a problem mode or a crisis mode? What's your mind saying? Because once you notice it, you can manage this fellow.
Sometimes I say just quit ना छोड़ मेरे को करना ही नहीं अब हो गया मेरा.
हाँ मुझे करना ही है तो उसके बाद क्या बोल सकते हो? Let me find out how to make it possible.
Yeah, let me find some way to make it possible. Like जिसकी भी help लगेगी I can go and have a go.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Who else? When you get stuck up in a situation, what is your mind saying and what do you do with it? See, I recall a conversation which we had with Conan a couple of days back when he said that there are certain people. You remember, Conan, what you said? I'm not fully those kind of people, you know, you find it difficult to relate with. What is your mind saying at that time?
इससे बात करना ही फजूल है.
Right? बात करना ही फजूल है. So that's an internal thing, and it's got a little judgment attached to it. So what would you say in that situation? Your default conversation is saying, इससे बात करना फजूल है, तो इससे बात ही मत करो.
Yeah, normally I give up.
हाँ वही, इससे बात ही मत करो, right? So what can you be saying to your mind at that point of time?
What else is possible? Find out, talk, understand. There would be something different perspective, some solutions available. Deep dive, dig out.
Yeah, but you'll have to say something to counter that judgment that you have, na? Like Reddy Garu was saying, you can say, all right, this judgment is just my point of view. Yeah. See, like, especially when it comes to a relationship where you have typecast somebody in your head and said, "Bhai, this fellow is not worth talking to," right? What will you have to say to yourself so that you are willing to talk to him?
Yeah, this reminds me what I'll say, that how can I support this gentleman so that together we can empower each other for the success of the company.
Yeah, that's one thing you can say. Or you can say that, what help does this fellow need? On the same lines. Good, great. Thank you very much. What about you, Abhinav? You're not speaking today.
Or maybe we say, let me give it a try.
Yeah, but what try?
To convince the person for what you want to express.
Yeah, it's not about convincing. Na? You would say how to make it possible to make this person understand my point of view. Because see, you are having a point of view which that person is not getting.
Right.
Or is not willing to get. It looks like the person is not willing to get your point of view. So then you can say to yourself, let me find out how to communicate that the person is at least willing to listen to my point of view. Right?
Yeah.
First, if they listen, they might even understand that that's my point of view. I might even say to them, listen, you don't have to agree with me, but at least listen to what I have to say.
Right.
So you see, the moment you start noticing what tricks your mind is playing, then you can counter it, because it's your mind, you can decide what to put in it. Correct? Okay, somebody else? So we were talking to Abhinav, who has not yet spoken. So
what is the question we are discussing, Sukhdeepak?
Oh, I repeated 3 times. I'll repeat it one more time for you. The question is that we have many times a situation where you can call it a problem situation or a difficult situation. So what is going on in your mind at that point? You know, what is your internal conversation? That is a question.
Yeah. So I just switched on my camera because there's this signal issue.
Yeah, your signal is weak. Why don't you?
So what I've noticed is that
signal is better.
Yeah, let me try.
Yeah, now it's slightly better.
Slightly better. So what I've noticed about myself is that I already have opinions, and I already have some reputation of the person in my mind.
Yeah, what is your mind? Exactly the words, you know. Are you aware?
Yeah. My mind says कि ये आदमी तो है ही ऐसा.
हाँ, ये है ही ऐसा.
I've noticed that like I have made up opinion about certain people कि this person is completely self-righteous. Completely self-righteous से तो बात ही करनी बेकार है. So let me not waste my time on him. Let me put my efforts. So that possibility of making a difference is for a certain kind of a people. इनका तो कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते. भगवान ने इनको ऐसा बना के भेजा है.
Right. So अभी एक conversation अगर mind में आ रही है, तो what can you replace it with? क्या बोलना चाहिए अपने आप को? Simple.
कभी सोचा ही नहीं ऐसा.
हाँ, तो अभी सोचो ना, तभी मैं कह रहा हूँ. So you could probably say, okay, how can I make a difference to this person? Or
Yes,
let me find out
yes.
how I can make a difference to this person.
Right. How can I make a difference to this
Yeah,
person?
let me find out how to make a difference to this person.
Yeah, let me find out how can I make a difference to this person. Yeah.
And
I can say that, but in the past I failed.
huh?
I tried and failed to make a difference to such people who are very self-righteous. For them, only their opinion is the right opinion. They're not prepared to listen to others, or they're too much of
Go.
how to use the word, selfish. Like life is about them. बाकी लोग भाड़ में जाएं. So there are times when I could make a difference, but most of the time I could not make a difference to such people.
So there are two things you can do. See, one is how can I make a difference to this person? The second one is how can this person make a difference to me?
Okay.
Where there are possibilities both ways, right? You
Yeah,
could
yeah, yeah.
that person could make a difference to you, but because of our judgment, we will never be willing to receive anything from him.
Yeah.
Because the moment I label somebody as judgmental, even a genuine contribution that he wishes to make, I may not be able to receive it. Na?
Yeah.
So if you have the awareness, okay, how can this person contribute to me? How can this conversation with this person contribute to me? And how can I contribute to him? So you try this out and see what happens. Yes, Kunen.
A quick one. So in this situation, what Abhinav just mentioned, the thought coming to mind is that is it possible to attach some higher purpose in this kind of situation, that how is going to help me, or to be more specific, God will be happy with me if I do this kind of act. So attachment of something higher which will be beneficial to me might help us to take action. Am I thinking right, sir?
No. The moment you say higher purpose that will be beneficial to me, there's the problem with that. Because it's not only about me. Na? See, if I say, okay, can we do something that will be beneficial to both of us? Like, see, Abhinav wants, he says how to make a difference to this person. That is a higher purpose. Right? But I like what you're saying that, if I make a difference to this person, that will please the Almighty or something. All right?
Yeah.
It's not about me. See, how can I actually you end up making a difference to both of you. But if you are thinking only me, how is it going to make a difference to me? Then there will be some sort of a block or a limitation we may be putting up. All right. So your suggestion is partially correct, but just remove the me from it.
Yeah.
Put us in it.
Yeah, I got it, sir. And I remember Abhinav has a higher purpose of helping humanity. So
that's what he started with, that I am not able to make a difference to this person because he's not willing to listen to me. He's full of himself, blah, blah, blah. Right?
Yeah, thank you, sir. I got it.
Purpose, all right. Thank you. And Gautamji.
Yeah, I try to keep I try to keep myself with a clean slate when dealing with a person. And
what is clean slate?
Clean slate means I'm not mind will be clean about the person. Maybe good or bad, I'm not going to do any judgment. So interaction like that, sometimes as a senior also I have seen it works very much with me. When I show them that I'm working, and automatically he come forward and can tell that I'm with you, or I am taking the responsibility.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, Priya.
Just want to ask one thing. So when you said to Abhinav, how can I make a difference to this person?
How can I make a difference to this person?
And
how can this person make a difference to me?
That I always do with my dean. How can my dean make a difference to my life or my knowledge? But when it is other way around, मुझे नहीं समझ आता. How
other
can
way around means?
मतलब when he talks very rudely with people and end with me as well. This is what I think. कि वो
Yeah,
इनको बात करने के
then
तरीका
there is
ही है.
another thing you can say to yourself. In what way is this going to contribute to my growth and development? Remember, every experience is an opportunity
To
to
be a
become
better
a better version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Even what you don't like. So suppose somebody is being rude to you, your mind can say, useless fellow, he is rude to me, I'm not going to listen to him. Or
Yeah,
your
this
mind will say, I hate him. Or your mind will say, what a useless fellow he is. So instead
मतलब
of doing
my mind says he is on this very high position and he don't know how to speak to someone who is way junior to him.
yeah, fine. So that's what your mind is saying, right?
Yeah.
So can you replace it with, right? What contribution can I take from this person? Okay. And how is this experience right now going to make me a better version of myself?
Yeah.
Because see, whatever it is, if you have this kind of an attitude, anybody who comes into your life will make a contribution to you.
Yeah, they will. And how will I make a contribution in their life?
Because when you are willing to receive a contribution from someone, automatically doors will open up for you to make contribution to them.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, because when you will give up your judgment, only then you will receive, na? And when you are dropping your judgment and willing to receive, you will be able to contribute also, because you can then ask the next question, how can I contribute to this person? It's about contribute to the person. Huh? The mistake that we make is we'll say, how do I fix this person? Fix this person means इसमें कुछ कमी है, इसको मैं ठीक कैसे करूंगा? It's not about मैंने इसको ठीक कैसे करना है. We are not here to fix other people. We can contribute to them. See, sometimes you feel that this person is doing something which will damage him or her. So if they continue to do this, उनका life में problem आएगा. So I should help them. Right?
Right.
So I want to contribute. So how do I make it possible for them to understand that what they are doing is detrimental to them?
So this is what I feel.
Yeah, that will be a later state.
Initial would be receive.
Receive. चाहे वो rudely बोल रहा है, अच्छी तरह से बोल रहा है, he is trying to make a contribution only, na?
Yeah.
Our parents also, they used to do when we were children, idiot, don't you have any brains? No, were they actually trying to make us idiot or saying we don't have brains? No.
No.
That is their way of trying to shake us up and make us understand, na? But we did it otherwise.
Not used to that kind of language. That.
So you can say, all right, this is his way of doing it. So what? How do I make use of his contribution? How is this going to make me a better person? At least it's training me how to deal with rude and difficult people.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you, I have dealt with such people in my life, and I'm so happy that they made me so strong that I can deal with anybody in my life. Big contribution they had made to me.
Right.
Shouting and screaming wallas don't bother me anymore. I like them. ऐसे और चिल्लाओ यार, निकालो अपना गुबार. हाँ, अगर तुमको हल्काहट फील होती है मुझ पे चिल्ला के, चिल्ला लो और चिल्लाओ, ऐश करो. Thank you so much, Priya. Yes, Vetri.
Sir, a quick share. One more thing which I'm thinking is, which I want to tell it with the example. So when something is uncomfortable in the mind, we can have, if it is about a person, we can have little compassion, saying that this guy is choosing it unconsciously. Poor guy. At least I will have some elements.
Exactly.
One, that example which I want to share.
You will say to yourself, let me have some compassion for this person.
Yes.
Right.
And the example which I would like to say is very interesting. One of my neighbor in Dubai, next room, that guy is always shouting. Shouting means not scolding. His voice is kind of a bold voice. It's whatever he talks without phone. Home people can listen. Something like that. Initially, it used to irritate me when I just change the direction. That person is there, something. Then slowly this internal dialogue got changed. That's it. That guy is actually shouting without knowing. Then slowly I started moving with him. He's a very nice guy. When I started to speak with people very casually about, I realized that I have the same habit. Whenever I want to say, I say loudly. Then I realize, oh my God, how sad it is. I am judging that guy having the same quality in me.
All right, great. Thank you very much for sharing that. Now, we are coming to the end of today's session. So I want to close by taking you through a very quick silent laughter so that you are getting into the day on a great note. All right. So when I say 1, 2, 3, we will all laugh 100%. And if you want, you can make sound. If you want not to make a sound, it's up to you. 1 and 2 and 3, go.
Sir, you said 100, now you're laughing 300.
You can make it 400. Wait till come on, 500 also is possible. 1,000 also mumkin, make it. Come on.
So you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Ready to begin. Bye.
Stay safe, stay blessed.
Wonderful day. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.
Thank you. God bless everyone.